Good morning. How are you diddling? Excellent. Me too. Thank you very much for asking. Just checking we're live everywhere. We are. Brilliant. Welcome to another episode of Dazed, Confused, and Generally Buggered. Effectively, how we're all feeling during these strange COVID-19 pandemic, lockdown, whatever else you want to add in there situation. It's an odd time, and we're going through these odd moments together. Every single day, I'm doing a live broadcast, trying to help you with your brand, with your business, just try and reach a new audience or potentially reach the audience you've already got in a slightly different way. Basically, get you thinking about social media and video content in a better, more strategic fashion. However, there are also other forms of marketing as well, which is what we're going to be talking about today very soon. We're going to be talking all about print marketing and what that can do for a brand and for a business. We'll come to that in a second. First things first, if you don't know who I am, I'm Simon Scholes, and I run this bad boy right here, Perception Studios. We're an award-winning visual marketing agency, and we help brands and businesses create content that really helps them stand out on their social media, be it video, animation, area work, photography, all sorts of stuff that's visually based, but it's content that will really help you get your brand out there in a better fashion than just a bit of text or what have you. Now, not only do we do that, but also a few years ago, it became quite prevalent to me that not every small business has necessarily got the budget to spend on trying to get this kind of stuff created. They don't necessarily have huge marketing budgets. And so what could they do themselves for free, which is my favorite four-letter word? Being a Yorkshireman, I love the word free. So what can you do yourself that won't cost you a penny, won't cost you anything, and basically get your brand out there for more people to consume? So I came up with the How to 9 Times Your Social Media Process. I wrote a book about it. It went to #1 in the Amazon chart. It did pretty good. And loads of people have, thankfully, have read it and started creating content. And I want to get you on that content creation journey as well. So that's effectively what these live broadcasts are about: answering your social media and video questions, helping you get started on content creation, but also helping you think about things a little bit differently as well, which is what today's subject matter is all about. So we have we've got a guest coming very, very soon, and he's going to join us, Adam Redshaw. There is some other bits and pieces I want to try and show you as well, because today we're going to talk about print and what print can do for your business if you think about it intelligently and a little bit more out of the box than you generally would a standard piece of content. I'm just trying to find something that I downloaded. I can't actually find it, so I'm going to find it again while I'm chatting. So print is just so valuable. There's a very famous saying, print is dead, but long live print, because a lot of people believe like things like newspaper advertising and that kind of stuff is dead. And there's a place for it, but a lot of the time when people pick up a newspaper, they generally don't read the advertisements. But there are ways to do print that aren't necessarily a newspaper advertisement. And you just need to think cleverly about how you could maybe go viral with a bit of print content. Does that sound interesting? Hopefully it does. Just let me just try and find this. There we go. That's what I need. So there's been a lot of examples of really great print advertising over the last few months, in fact, and stuff that I think has been quite effective. In fact, incredibly effective for a lot of brands. The guys on Instagram have just had a quick insight into what it was that I was looking for, because obviously it's filming the screen. So there's two ones that I want to talk about before I start chatting to Adam. The first one was an advert I saw for Burger King. And I haven't got an example of this, but Burger King basically paid for some London bus advertising when it was the election. And obviously, we all know about the bus saga. If you're from the UK, you'll know about the bus saga when it came to Brexit and putting false information on the side of a bus to try and win an election. And the information wasn't necessarily false, but what it was promising was false, and so on and so forth. We won't go into that anyway, because that's politics. But what Burger King did with the latest election was they created a piece of bus siding advertising which had a photograph of a BK Whopper, and then it said another Whopper on the side of a bus. And then just underneath, it just said, there must be another election coming. And it's just so clever, because not only is it humorous, it gets you thinking about it, gives you a bit of a laugh, but people were taking photographs of that and then actually posting those onto social media, so more people were getting to see it. So not only were they only paying for a single London bus with this advertisement on the side, they were going viral on social media because everybody thought it was such a clever piece of advertising. The other one that I want to talk about is where they made it into video content, was the Dracula advertising. And I don't know if you've seen this before. I'm just going to go to YouTube right here. And I think this is brilliant. So hopefully in a second you'll be able to see this. I'm just going to share my screen in one moment. Here we go. Just share screen. Come on, computer. Be a little bit quicker. And it doesn't want to show. So if I go to my entire screen, click on there, share that. Okay. So it's kind of a bit funny, but here we go. So this is what I want to show you. This advertisement here. Hopefully it's going to play it. It's using a lot of bandwidth, obviously, doing this live stream. So hopefully, here we go. So as you can see, it looks like some stakes in the wall. This is a time lapse, but as the day falls, the actual content turns into an image of Dracula because the shadows are being cast onto the screen. Did you see that? Let's play that again for you, because I think that's just a really clever piece of advertising from the BBC. Looks like normal. You would just think, okay, yes, stakes in the wall because of Dracula, bit of blood dripping down. Oh my word, it's nighttime. There's Dracula actually in the image. And I think that's just a really clever piece of print advertising. And again, people were taking videos of that, like that particular time lapse there, and posting it onto social media. More people were seeing it, and it was going absolutely bonkers crazy viral. And it got me thinking the other day, and I was saw a friend of mine who was posting some stuff about geocaching, which is something he does. He's very passionate about, when we'll be getting to that a little bit as well. But he was, when I first met him, I knew him as the card guy. So I'm going to introduce him. This is Adam, Adam Redshaw. Hello, Adam. How are you?
All good, thanks. Yourself?
I'm very well indeed. Right, it's just dawned on me that the people on Instagram won't be able to hear you. So I'm going to try just unplugging that, and fingers crossed I don't get any horrible background noise. Speak to me now.
Okay, it's 11:38. Thank you very much, Simon, for inviting me to be part of Dazed, Confused, and in my case, totally buggered.
Excellent. So, yeah, we first met at a 4N networking meeting. And Adam was known as the card guy. So do you want to explain? Yeah, there you go. There's his 4N tattoo, and got him lifetime membership. Do you want to explain a little bit about what the card guy effectively is?
Okay. You know me as, or first knew me as the card guy. You mentioned about the geocaching that I do, but before I got into any of that, I spent best part of 20 odd years as a mobile DJ. And I have some friends that talked to me about a marketing tool that I could use in my DJ business. So what I would do is, when I would meet a potential bride and groom and we would talk about planning their wedding, I would send them a thank you card through the post. Mm-hmm. But once we've done the wedding, or during the wedding, I would take a photo of them on the dance floor in their first dance and turn that into a greetings card and send them a card. Now, sending these cards meant I was getting more referral business, more repeat business, and more recommendations from the people that I DJ'd for. Now, because I knew the date of their wedding, I could send them a wedding anniversary card, birthday cards, Christmas cards, all of those sort of things. And they weren't done with sales pitches in mind. They're all about building relationships and maintaining relationships. So the system that I was using is an American-based system that I've started to share with other people for networking, and BNI and various other forms of networking. And it's a system that I use still today, and I use it in my personal life to keep in touch with friends and family. If I see somebody who's had a new job or whatever, and they've put it on Facebook, I send them a card through the post, a birthday card, or if somebody's posted that they're feeling a bit low, I send them a card saying, cheer up, you silly old fart, it's not that bad. If they've been on a walk and they've shared a nice picture of where they've been walking, I say, well, that's a really nice picture, it belongs in a frame. Here's a copy on a card that you can put in a frame. So I started networking with the hat of the card guy. or the badge of the card guy.
Cool. And so how did that work for you then? I mean, obviously, like you say, you send them out yourself as a mobile DJ. So did that bring you any extra work and stuff like that?
Yeah, so what would happen is when their friends and family were talking about, you get the word of mouth, well, the DJ that did your wedding was a reasonable guy. But months later, because I've sent them that card, it still puts me back in their frame of mind. So it's good to keep doing that because it's all about building relationships. People buy from people they know, like, and trust. And those simple little cards can really make a big impact. And quite often, they're going to sit there for years. Then people keep them. They don't necessarily throw them away. With an email, it might not even get opened. But a greetings card nearly always gets opened.
And I think that's a really good point as well. When you get your post, there's nothing nicer than. I mean, do they come handwritten as well? Is that something you do, or is that can you kind of do like other sites do and get it sent to you so you can handwrite something in there and then send it off?
The system you can upload your own handwriting into, so it effectively creates your own font, which is your handwriting font. So you can type in. And it recognizes how you would have typed that if you were writing a letter, and it takes the character T from that word and F from that word, and it merges them all together very, very cleverly, like a normal font does. And it looks as though it's your own handwriting inside the card.
That's fab, because that's the thing I think draws people into anything they get in the post is when it's actually handwritten. If you see something and it's printed, you're a little bit like, oh crap, another bill, or just another bank statement, even if you've gone paperless and you've told them you have a million times. But if it's handwritten, I think that it adds that little extra personal touch. Do you find that people like emotionally connect to that personal touch a little bit more?
Oh, without a doubt. Quite often when I send somebody a card, they will send me a message or they'll put a post up on Facebook or social media to say, wow, Adam sent me this really nice card. Now, how often, I can't remember a time that I've ever done it, where I've gone on social media and said, you know what, Simon from Perception Studios, he sent me this really nice email the other day. Here's a screenshot of it. People don't do that with email. You send somebody a really nice, heartfelt card, perhaps that's bespoke with photos of family, friends, loved ones, the sort of images that I mentioned earlier on, and that is going to have amazing power.
Yeah, and that comes back to what I was talking about with the BBC piece and also the Burger King advert, was that people will then start talking about you in an organic way. You're not asking them to do so in any way, shape, or form, but have you seen potential business or business come through that way?
Yeah, very much so. People say that your brand is what people say about when you're not in the room. So with the greetings cards, you can be in the room. Your branding can be in the room. You're not there yourself, but people will hang on to cards as a reminder.
And so, I mean, obviously, you don't want to send a bunch. So we were talking a little bit about this off air. So you don't want to send a bunch of just the same stuff to lots of people. You want to try and personalize it. But what about getting a standardized one printed, then personalizing the message into each person? Does it then become quite cost effective, or is it even cost effective even just sending one card?
Well, the system that I use, and there are lots of ways you can do print. You can, as you say, print off what you need. I've got an app on my smartphone. I go on, I type in what I want, I put whatever photos I want on, and hit go. That prints a physical greetings card, puts it in an envelope, puts a stamp on it, posts it, and it turns up at the recipient's address. And I can do that cheaper than having to go trawling around the shops, try and find a card that's right, then go and find a stamp, write it, post it. I can do it all off my smartphone in a matter of minutes.
Fantastic. So say somebody wants to do this. Can they do other things other than just cards? Because they do postcards and that kind of stuff. I'm just trying to think of what people could do right now, especially.
Yeah, so right now the system that I use, which is called Send Out Cards, it's an American-based system. They've got a whole host of card templates which are COVID themed. So it's not all superheroes wear masks, and you can put in there, how you appreciate, how well somebody's looking after the kids. That they're managing to run their business, work from home, look after the kids, look after the family, and exactly. So to get a card through the post, maybe where I've been on your Facebook timeline, taking a photo of you doing all the things that you do, juggling all those plates, spinning all those plates, and putting those into a heartfelt card, which you've got no idea is going to turn up. When you get that, you've got that whole sort of, when you take the wrapping paper off a present, it's like when you open up the envelope and you go, and you're taking off the wrapping paper, you've got that anticipation and excitement of like almost opening a birthday present, because you know that somebody sent you something nice, at least you hope they've sent something nice, but you don't know what it is. So you've got that excitement there as well.
Yeah, that what the hell is this moment kind of thing. Brilliant. Adam, I think right now, this is a perfect opportunity to do something different for a brand. So I think this is a huge opportunity for a lot of brands and businesses who are watching this live right now, or watching on replay, or listening to the podcast when it comes out later. This is a huge opportunity for you right now to reach out to your most valued customers, those people who maybe you want to be a most valued customer, and send them this kind of thing. Is it really easy to do? Can they download the app, or do they maybe come to you and they can get it done themselves by you or what have you?
Yeah, really simple to do. Download the app. I could give you a link for how to download that, or they can contact me. That's fine. Download the app. If you've got a CRM system of all your contacts, you can upload that. And then at a touch of a button, if you need to, you can send a card to all of those in next to no time at all.
In seconds. Fantastic. Adam, this is I think this has been invaluable. I know it's been short, but I think this is an invaluable thing for people right now. When we finish the broadcast, I'm going to get all of Adam's details. He's going to send them to me on Facebook. I'm telling him now. Send them to me on Facebook. Send me all your links and all that kind of stuff. And we will have all of those in the description box below after this broadcast. You can go check them out. And I think this is a huge opportunity for every brand and business right now, because it comes back to that point of these things people will take photographs of them, share them on social media. If you've got private Facebook groups, they'll share them on there as well. And it just really will build that emotional connection between you and the person who's got it. But also people will go, oh, well, Adam's not a dick at all with green hair, looking like Orville the Duck. I'm gonna do business with him because what that other person possibly told me doesn't matter. I like the cut of his jib. I'm gonna go work with him. So yeah, I think this is I can't reiterate enough. I think this is just something very different right now that will really help a lot of brands and businesses stand out from the competition.
Yeah, and as you mentioned earlier on, print isn't just paper. It could be graphics on the side of a vehicle, on the side of a bus. Little things like badges that you can get. I know that Ian Dixon, who's a popular business coach, he does these sort of badges. You can get lanyards.
Yeah.
Think about embroidered clothing, messenger bags. Even if you want to have a bit of fun with the kids, go and print or get some pebbles, color in your own logo and fun messages, cryptic messages, maybe with a hashtag or part of a URL, and just leave them out for people to find. The stones painting thing is really, really popular. It can be a fun way.
It's a massive thing right now. A lot of people doing lines of them as well and things like that. And
yeah. So it's really, really good. At the start of this, I think before you brought me on, you mentioned about the book that you've done. So print isn't necessarily for other people. Think about using print for yourself, so that you've got that asset, that book that gives you the asset of it, the credibility, and if you can show your knowledge, in fact, well, yeah, I'm a published author. Here's my book. It's still print, but it's doing it for yourself, not necessarily for others. Well, you are doing it for others because you're sharing that knowledge, that content, and that helps people meet, like, know, and trust you. Because as you said earlier, it was your phrase, the color of your jib. You're sharing that with them.
Yeah.
But you're doing it for yourself because it gives you raises that profile so much. Print is definitely not dead.
Definitely not. Adam, this has been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for joining me. And
thank you.
And stay safe as well.
Yes.
Absolutely.
You need one of those fancy banners across the bottom.
I do.
Or a StreamYard overlay that comes up with the stay safe. Anyway, be seeing you.
I'll see you soon. Take care, Adam. Thanks ever so much for that. There you go, Adam Redshaw. His details will be in the bottom of this broadcast once we're all finished and done. And a few people have been asking what's the name of the app. Jack Bookin is just Bookin. Hopefully I've said your surname right. Has been asking what's the name of the app. It'll all be in the description box below. There is a website which is a nice thing to do.co.uk. I'll put that in right now. Just give me 1 second. There we go. Add that banner. So you can go find it there. But I'll put all of Adam's details below so you can go and find him on social media, all that kind of stuff. And hopefully you will start doing something a little bit different in print for your brand and for your business. Right then. As always, questions are open on whatever channel you're listening on or whatever channel you're watching on. Even if you've got any questions for Adam as well, we can throw those to him another time. So if you've got any questions for Adam, please leave them in the comments. And you can do that on Twitch, Periscope, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, and on Instagram Live as well, which we're watching on at the moment. Hello to Tracy, who's joined us, Christine, and the Audio Concierge as well. So any of you guys have got any questions, feel free to chuck them at us and we'll do our best to answer them today. Let's have a look at some of the questions then that came through yesterday on email. This was a good one that I thought would have a chat about. Roy, is it still possible to grow an art account organically just with quality content without heavily relying on interaction with other accounts on a follow-for-follow dynamic? Okay, so many things to approach there, Roy. Yes, you can still grow an account based on art. I talked about this the other day. I think growing an art account is a huge possibility right now if you're a great artist, or even if you're not necessarily a great artist. I'm not saying either way, Roy, but start showing people the behind the scenes aspect of it on things like TikTok, on YouTube, on Facebook. Show people the process. What is it that you go through to create a piece of artwork? People, and I was chatting about this morning with somebody over in New Zealand on Instagram who'd listened to my podcast and was chatting to me. People are voyeuristic. We live in a very voyeuristic age, especially right now, because we all want an element of human interaction that we might not necessarily get generally because we're all either on our own or we are looking after an 18-month-old who's lovely and awesome, but sadly he's not a great conversationalist. But we're all crying out for that. So start showing people the behind the scenes aspect to what it is that you do. Now, you mentioned something else there as well. You don't want to heavily rely on interaction. That's what social media is all about. Social media is about being social. So you're going to have to rely on interaction. You're going to have to rely on reaching out and commenting on other people's content, reaching out and saying hello, reaching out to other artists and telling them how you love the process that they're using and the methods and the piece of artwork that they've created. You also mentioned follow for follow. For the love of everything, please do not do follow for follow on any platform. Don't do on Facebook. Don't do sub for sub on YouTube. Don't do follow for follow on Instagram, on TikTok. It's just a vanity metric. You are chasing a number that is not important for your brand or for your business. So please just stop doing that right now, Roy. Start concentrating on creating content that is behind the scenes, showing people that process of you creating a piece of artwork. And I think that, or well, I don't even think, I know that is the better process to be taking. Hopefully that's answered your question. Jason, I've grown a following on TikTok creating positive and motivational content, but I want to be a fiction writer more than anything. How do I pivot to that type of content? You don't pivot. You don't need to. What you've described as your content right now, Jason, straight away leapt into my head. That is the hero's journey. That's what all films, what all books are about. There is a hero's journey. They get close to their ending and then they drop off again and then come back up again and they drop off again. This is something that was taught to me about through George Swift, who is Bigger, Brighter, Bolder. He's a mindset coach and I work with him. And he talks about the hero's journey a lot and how business owners go through the hero's journey. What you've described is exactly that. And so any story you write will have an element of a positive message and an element of motivation in there as well. The motivation for the person to climb the mountain, to get to the other side, to realize it's not the mountain they wanted to climb. So they have to come back down again and go back up the next mountain, and so on and so forth. So don't necessarily pivot. Just think about how you can use what you've been creating, motivation and positiveness, and put those into the books themselves. You don't have to pivot away from them completely. Include them in the content you're already creating or want to create. If you can write, then you can write that into the content. I think that would be a really powerful thing for you to start looking at doing. Okay, last of the questions that's come through on email. We'll have a quick look at the comments in a second, see if anybody's asked a question this morning there at all. Good morning to Step Bess, who's just joined us on Instagram. Okay, next question. Lexi, TikTok has been a bit of a fad recently, but lately as a platform, I've been talking about it, but I wasn't on there early enough, so I can't grow. I found another app called Lasso, developed by Facebook, and it seemed pretty much like TikTok. Any thoughts about it? Get yourself on TikTok. It's not too late. Trust me. TikTok might seem cannibalized right now because there's 800 million people on there. Get out of your own head. Forget about the fact that there's a lot of people on the platform and start creating some content. They are selling very small amounts of advertising on there. It's not really a monetized app as such yet. So even though they're making a bit of cash, it's not massive yet. So get your content out there. The organic potential on TikTok is still bigger than any other platform right now. Any other platform, including LinkedIn, because even LinkedIn have got their own advertising platform where people can pay for adverts on there, and adverts are becoming more prevalent in the content when you see it in the feed. Right now, TikTok, far and few between pieces of content are popping up that are actually sponsored and adverts. So get creating on TikTok. Forget any other platform right now. Watch Lasso and just see what it's going to do. But don't dive in there headlong because you don't know what's going to happen. Byte came out fairly recently. It was meant to be the next Vine, but it quickly became obvious that actually still people wanted to just use TikTok. So don't use something that's very similar to TikTok because the chances are it's not going to succeed as well. Trust me. Stick to TikTok. Start creating some content on TikTok. You'll have a really good chance of developing an audience on TikTok. Just create consistently, once, twice, 3 times a day if you possibly can do. Just create some fun content that you can have a bit of a laugh with. And I think you'll be on to a bit of a winner there, Lexi. But yeah, just forget anything else right now. Keep an eye on it. See what's happening with it. See how the uploads are going. See how people are using it. But just don't dive headlong in there because you can't guarantee that's going to work. Right now, TikTok is definitely working for people. So use that platform instead. Right. Okay, let's have a quick look at the comments, see if anybody has popped in. Jack found Perception Studios through his For You page on TikTok, which resulted in him tuning in today. It definitely works. There you go. Good morning to Dennis as well. Thank you very much, Dennis, for joining us. Dennis Morgan, who's watching on Facebook. Jack, who's also watching on Facebook as well. So there you have it. TikTok definitely works. It's definitely a platform. So Lexi, forget all the others. Just get yourself on there and have some fun. Don't always aim for being the next famous influencer. Just have some fun, create some content, and if it blows up, brilliant. Okay, right. I'm going to call it a day there. We've been going for 30 minutes. The questions have dried up. It's been a brilliant broadcast. I think hopefully a lot of you guys will have got some great value out of what Adam was saying and what he was talking about. Don't forget, all his links are going to be in the section below after this broadcast. So make sure you go and check them out, click them, and do something different for your brand, for your business that will really stand out for your audience and also stand you out against your competitors as well. Fingers crossed. Okay, until tomorrow, thanks ever so much for watching. Come and join the How to 9 Times Your Social Media group on Facebook if you want to. You can download my book on there, completely free, won't cost you a penny. You just come and join the group, and we can have a chat and have some fun in there as well. That's the name of the group on Facebook. Go and find it, and we can have a laugh. Anyway, right, I'm going to disappear. I'm going to go finish my coffee. So have a good rest of your day. Stay safe. Enjoy the sunshine if you're in the UK, because it's going to be a glorious day. 25 degrees. Brilliant. And until tomorrow, about the same time, depends on toddler naps, I will see you then. Take care and have a good one. Bye.